And if you think about the way banking has evolved over the last few years, everybody's been aspiring to higher and higher levels of service and quality, which is really about knowing your individual better and being able to serve them better. And AI is going to allow us to do that at scale and allow us to really transform that experience of the consumer in the world of banking.
I think AI will play the biggest role in terms of customer experience around next best action for the customer and understanding the customer and what best suits the customer as the next offer of product or service to meet their life cycle and their life stage.
To be honest, I believe artificial intelligence is a utility that's still being understood and learned and developed, and slowly it will feed into all the experiences. In fact, I think there will be very few customer experiences, particularly in the digital space, that you'll experience that doesn't have an element of AI in it. Whether it is recommending you a savings account or even what kind of mortgage you should be taking up. That sort of thing will all be powered by AI.
So the way AI is facilitating this personalization, I'll give you two fantastic examples. The first one is around the ability for the technology to understand what it is you are most likely to be interested in next. How can the technology look at what you've done, where your interests are, and make recommendations to the person who's serving you or you directly? The other area that I think is phenomenally exciting is the ability for financial institutions to better serve customers, because we've all been through experiences where we've tried to phone the bank and it's a different department, a different group, and that lack of joined up process behind. You know, we as Salesforce, and especially working more recently with some of our AI partners like Google, have announced the ability to bring those two technologies together to really serve the customer in that service center as operational experience as well. And I think that's going to be transformative.
Consumers hate doing banking. They try and avoid doing financial tasks. So I think the big opportunity with machine learning is to take all the small little cognitive tasks that takes a human a second or two to do, looking up information, entering information, remembering to pay a bill. All of that are things that machine learning can do faster, more accurately, and be embedded in the customer experience and therefore make the customer happier.
I think it's understanding the framework, the regulation, and everything around ethical AI. So how is the AI going to be built? What are the data sets that are being used? How inclusive are the data sets? Who's building them?
So there are roadblocks to overcome with AI, and there are technical roadblocks around the data and where it is and how do we get to it and is it clean? You know, those all need to be solved. But the bigger one that I see is about our acceptance of it. Artificial intelligence is part of our lives. We see it in the consumer side of our lives today, people using voice-based technology to make recommendations, people using streaming services that make recommendations, and we've got comfortable with it in that space. But in the side of our banking, we've got to get more used to it. We've got to understand, we've got to learn to trust it. And that's why I think the key fundamental design point in anybody building an AI system is, how much do my customers trust me, and I mean really trust me, with what they're providing me with, that data, that information. And I've got to be very respectful of that. And if you get that trust relationship right, I will share more information with you and you will provide better service to me, and that becomes a cumulative process. And I think that is really critical in all of this, is don't just think about the tech, think about the emotion behind the technology as well. And if we get that right, we can really change the way that banking is delivered all over the world.